how the GCC will lead the AI era with pragmatism. This panel will explore how the region can implement pragmatic approaches to dominate the AI landscape. I'll invite Caroline Yap to join us once again. Caroline, MD, Global AI Business and Applied Engineering at Google. Also, we will be joined by Belal Jassoma, Director of Ecosystems at DMCC, and Varghese Cherian, Chief Revenue Officer at Builder.AI, Bishu Panigrahi, Managing Partner of Gulf and Levant and Pakistan at IBM. And our moderator for this session is Chiara de Caro, DMCC AGCC. Welcome.
Hi everyone, welcome to this session, and the title is AI Blueprint for the GCC, how the GCC will lead the AI era with pragmatism. So now before we start, how many of you are based here in Dubai? Okay, so the rest is not here. Who's the first time here? Okay. So be very careful. I came here 2 years ago. It was meant to be a 3-day trip, and I'm still here. So be very careful. So, but this place tends to be a magnet for people, for companies. And today we're basically just going to explore exactly that. What makes this place so special? And if we look a little bit more if we scope it a little bit more down, we will also look into what are this ecosystem bringing, what are the successful elements of these ecosystems, and we will looking into very hands-on, real-world examples of Dubai and the UAE and the region. So I am here today with some amazing speakers. I'll start from the bottom. Caroline from Google, thank you for being here with us. Belal from DMCC, and we have BC from Builder.AI and Bishu from IBM. I know you've already heard the names before, so I will keep it very short. And I will go on the first question. So I will start actually with VC. And I know, VC, you're an incredible speaker. I've heard this a few times by now. And I also know that you really like to speak. So he was asking, we were in a call, he was like, how long can I speak? And his team was like, well, 5 minutes is a good amount. It's like, oh, I could talk for 20 minutes. So I will start with you. And I'm very curious to know about Builder.AI. I know that you're one of the very successful companies in this city. You've been here for a while, and I will just leave it to you to tell the story of Builder.AI.
Wonderful, thank you. So the name is Varghese Cherian. I'm from Builder.AI. We are a composable software platform. Think of this as Lego meeting AI to build software. If you're using applications, and I'm sure all of you are, every application has a lot of common features, and typically when the world builds software, they build everything from scratch. What we realized was you don't need to do that, whether it's a small business or a very large enterprise. There's commonality that can be reused. So we created Lego-like building blocks. We have 600 of them. Think of these as features like login, maps, user profiles, so on and so forth, which makes life easier. The second thing we did was leveraging AI to complete software. Every customer needs a custom software to build. So we use generative AI to do the customization piece for the building blocks, inject that into the building blocks. And then we have an assembly line like car manufacturing, which assembles the building blocks together, does the testing and delivers software applications for customer faster and at a much lower cost. So that's what we do. The platform is called Studio. We have a subscription service on top of it, which ensures that your applications that you build never goes out of date. And we also have a marketplace, a cloud marketplace, where any tools, services, hosting that you need, we partners with AWS, we partners with Google, we partners with Microsoft, and Microsoft is also an investor with us. You could leverage our platform to help you build, run, and scale the application that you have created with us. So that's in simple what Builder is. I think it's less than 5 minutes. I can continue.
Go ahead.
So the best way to explore our platform is to take a demo. We have a presence here. We have a large presence in GITEX, in fact 2 booths, and we're also there in Microsoft's booth. So in case you guys find time, please step in and visit us. We would be more than happy to showcase our platform to you.
Thank you. Builder.AI is a well-known company and very successful in this part of the world. And the very first thing that we think when talking about successful companies is clearly the fundament of it, so the talent that you bring in. And I would hand this over to you, actually, Bishu, and I would like to know from you, what is your organization doing to upskilling in terms of AI people here in the region?
Yeah, I think, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let me start by a few stats, right? World Economic Forum predicts that 44% of the skills will be disrupted in the coming years, which is by the 2030, right? 1 in 3 companies, which is 33% of companies, have said that, okay, without AI skills, there's no AI adoption. And this is a clear barrier for AI adoption. Yeah? And 4 in 5 executives have said that, okay, skill development in their organizations is at the top of the priority. So, given this as the backdrop, IBM, seeing this as a trend for skills development and the scarcity of the AI skills in particular, IBM announced a commitment for skilling 2 million learners by 2026 globally. And to do this, we have tied up with universities, schools, and research institutes and so on, and we have got a platform which is called the Skills Builder, which is for the young learners, for the college students, for even the corporates and startups, which is free. And it has got all of these cutting edge technologies, including AI and Gen AI, cloud, various flavors of cloud, cyber security, which is extremely important in this world, and so on. So that is one of the platforms that we have. The second initiative that IBM has taken here in the region is, we call it as a local version of the IBM Consulting associate programs. So we hire local talent, train them, skill them, upskill them in these technologies with hands-on experience in line with the UAE's vision. And again, for a period of 12 months, we do the training so that we develop the local talent and then send them into the market and the projects. The third initiative that we have is, we call it as AI Academy. This is particularly for developing organizations and the skill levels of the organizations, be it a small, medium, or be it government officials. So we have this platform which is very much designed for role-specific skills, be it as an executive or a technical consultant or a developer. We have a learning path very streamlined for developing the right skills for the particular role, which empowers the employees and also helps the organization move forward with this change and bring the innovation into the organization. So these are all the different activities that we do, and also we have tied up with MBZ University of AI in Abu Dhabi, where we have a center of excellence for research in the field, where we bring in the AI curriculum. We do certifications, lectures, hands-on labs, and so on, and the students get certified after they do the curriculum. So this is to advance the scientific breakthroughs in the country with the help of AI, create innovative solutions along with IBM researchers and the students and faculties of the university.
So Bishu, I actually want to still ask you a question. What are the gaps that you see when it comes to talent here and connected to AI? The gaps.
Okay. So when it comes to the challenges in AI, there are...
In terms of talent, that's what I meant, right?
Yeah. So the talent is about, first of all, I think the requirement of AI and the skills required for AI development is very niche and very complex. So you need the data scientists, you need the product engineering skills, you need the change management skills, you need the design thinking skills, you need a lot of variety of skills that is required for making an AI program successful. Now, in order to get the skills, there are 2 or 3 ways you can do it. You know, you can either hire it from the market, and we all know that the scarcity of these kind of skills in the market is there. So the other option is to reskill the existing workforce that we have within the organizations. And this is where the challenge is. You know, every organization is trying to build the skills within. So we need to do both. If you want to do just the skilling, upskilling, it may not be enough for the kind of adoption, for the kind of innovation that you want to drive in your organizations. So you got to do the talent acquiring from the market. How do you bring the right talent? How do you retain them? So these are some specific HR programs that each of the organizations run, and we help them as IBM as well to manage this end to end, so that they can get the right skills but also retain them and skill and reskill the existing employees and the workforce that they have, so that they bring up the skill. And this is the program that I mentioned about the AI Academy program that we have, which is a bit of platform, bit of consulting, bit of helping the organizations to navigate through the challenges of the AI talent in the organization itself.
So you said something interesting, and of upskilling internally, which also makes me think about adoption. So you have adoption internally of AI solution and externally. And Caroline, I would like to bring you in the conversation. AI company like Google, how do you ensure the adoption internally and externally?
I think can I ask the audience a question?
Of course.
So how many of you use Google AI today? So that's a trick question, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to answer again. So if you've been using Gmail, if you've been using search, YouTube, and even Google Maps, which has been around since 2006, you've been using Google AI. So I'll ask again, how many of you have been using Google AI? Should be everyone, right? And so because of that, I mean, for us as a company, it's always been core to us to use the tools that we have internally because of the systems we build for consumers and then as well as for enterprises. So it's not been that much of a challenge. The challenge has been more around the capabilities and then the ethics and governance. Like, what functions should we decide will be completely AI without a human in the loop, and then which ones still require a human to verify. So for example, we might use the advancements in large language model technology and new neural network technology and all of that to help with more of the languages that Google Translate can represent. This year we announced another 110. Now we support 243 languages in Google Translate, which is a lot. But the clear example is we've supported Mandarin for a long time, but we didn't add Cantonese in until this year. And the reason was a lot of the native Cantonese speakers would keep giving us feedback that it wasn't good enough. So that's where the ethics and the governance and the human should still be part of the process. And so for us, it's making sure we have the feedback loops to get that human input, as well as building the tools that obviously a lot of Googlers will use, but now we're seeing consumers are also using. We have a lot of AI test kitchen tools. We have image effects, music effects for people who are doing music, which is really great, and then video effects. And so in each of those that we even release as experiments to the public, we make sure there's a way to collect that feedback so that we can continuously improve the tooling internally and externally.
Thank you. Belal, so the city is a magnet, as I was saying before, and there are, of course, a lot of elements at the base of it. So we talked about talent, and you're leading ecosystems at DMCC. So you're an expert on the topic. And in your opinion, what are the puzzle pieces that make an ecosystem successful?
Okay, so I mean, first of all, DMCC has been transforming industries for the last 2 decades, and we've done that very well for the commodities trade, as the diamond was a great success story. 20 years ago, Dubai was nowhere in the map when it came to diamond trade, and today we're the leading diamond trading hub. But similarly for crypto as well, I mean, we basically pioneered the crypto licensing and ecosystem building. We started looking at crypto way before anyone else was, and today we have the largest Web3 ecosystem with more than 600 companies together. So when it comes to the AI and all the pieces of the puzzle, basically for AI, we saw an opportunity. We saw 25,000 companies in DMCC who are interested in adopting AI and jumping on that bandwagon. And we saw a gap in the market that there isn't enough knowledge. Data is not clean and ready yet. There aren't enough strong technology companies to actually, transform and meet that demand. So we decided to set up the DMCC AI Center to enable that, basically. So we saw lots of interesting AI IPs in Korea and China and Japan and other parts of the world. They want to expand and commercialize their IP in a market like Dubai. And with all this demand that there is here, this is the active role that we want to play and providing business opportunities. I think that's the most important thing, coupled, of course, with bridging the knowledge gap and educating companies on what to look for when you select the right solution. And of course, working with partners like AGCC who can make that happen. And also proud to say that Builder.AI here is our first AI company in DMCC. They joined us almost 5 years ago, and today they are one of the leading ones. So congrats.
I think just to add to what Belal was saying, one of the governments which is taking the right initiatives in terms of moving in the right direction is, I would say, UAE. I don't think there's another country which has ministry for AI. So that's one. And if you look at the roadmap that UAE is laid out, clearly the first objective on the roadmap is to make UAE the destination for AI. And when that happens, typically, if you look at the top talent in AI, probably UAE doesn't have it. And that's where you need to probably get in people from the US or evolved markets like Europe. And this objective of making UAE the destination for AI is going to excite a lot of people to come in and build talent. And the second thing is what we heard from our friend, where you need to train, upskill your teams to scale up. AI is not a new topic. The head of AI for Builder, he did his PhD in AI 25 years ago, right? It's been there for tens and tens of years in terms of a topicality. There are businesses that have leveraged AI. So the skill sets are available, senior levels, but they're not here. So making UAE a destination is one way of doing it to bring the talent here. Two is to upskill our teams.
I totally agree. I think that's exactly the core of this conversation, right? So it's clear that the UAE doesn't have as much innovation created here, like places like, I don't know, the US or Europe. But on the other side, it's still an environment where companies can come and can thrive. And it's thanks to ecosystems like DMCC and its AI center, but it's also through let's say the wider ecosystem called Dubai or called the UAE, where there's a a risk-taking culture where people come because they love to live here, and so the talent is brought from abroad and upskilled here. So there are a bunch of different elements that make this place in the end extremely special, and the ground, and it has the ground, the base to actually be the place where companies can just grow and scale from here to the rest of the world. Another thing we were discussing today in a conversation with some people before back at the office, someone was saying, you know, because Dubai is at the center of the world, and it's so well connected, and they were not really grasping. And I gave them the example of living in Berlin. So I'm Italian, and it takes me as much time to get back home from Dubai back to Italy than from Berlin to back to Italy. So it's a very special place, I would say, in this sense.
Chiara, I will add to that. So I grew up in Malaysia. I was born and raised in Malaysia. I'm Malay, Chinese, Indian, and Portuguese. And I was talking to my colleague earlier. It takes me 7.5 hours to go to London, and it takes me 7.5 hours to go back to Malaysia from here. And it really is very fascinating geographically where we are. But one of the things that I was reading in the new stats for GITEX this year, there's over 220 nationalities of people who live in the UAE. And so I think it's just a matter of time if, you know, we can get the right public-private partnerships to do the skilling and the reskilling as well of the existing workforce for AI to really make this a really good ecosystem moving forward.
And looking also into the data, this has been improving in the past years, an exponential rate, right? So it's already a sign. And what you were saying, Belal, it's, I mean, I know the ecosystem quite well, clearly, and I think those elements of actually bringing together all these actors coming from the corporates that you have within that have needs, but also have ideas and input. Probably in the future, bringing in the talent yourself and having all these partners that can enable. I think it's one of the pieces that can foster the growth of CCT even farther. And just I don't know how much time we actually have left, because there should be a timer which I don't see. So I will keep talking until they let us go and leave. But Caroline, just quickly, what do you think are the barriers to actually adopting AI in these companies?
Fear. Fear actually is the number one reason why a lot of people don't adopt. So I think it's fear and a misunderstanding. Right? And so a lot of companies are already using AI. It was just predictive AI or automation or analytics. But because of generative AI and the fever that exists around generative AI, it's making a lot of people think that they're behind when in fact they're not. Right? Not everything requires a generative AI interface. You actually need better data discipline, and you need better discipline around your predictive analytics and automation, so that when you want to use generative AI to understand your data sets, unstructured data sets more specifically, because now the technology makes it easier for you to see what is in unstructured data, it's important. The fear is because people assume that this is so powerful, they might lose their jobs. But the thing is, AI is also there to augment what you do. Nobody wants to sit there to do expenses for hours and hours, or inventory checks or anything like that. So if you can create a tool or an agent, now they're calling them AI agents, to do this work, why wouldn't you? So it changes the tasks in jobs that exist today, but it allows you to build new job functions, new tasks, and even new economic models if you're not afraid.
I think just to add to what we heard just now, the way we look at AI is it gives superhuman powers to a normal human being, right? Typically, if you look at your mundane tasks now, whether it's interviewing candidates or whether it's writing an email, imagine giving just 3 pointers or 4 pointers and somebody writes the email for you, or the feedback gets filled in when you just get the transcripts of conversation into one of the tools, and it gives you answers to questions. So it makes life easier. So look at this as something that is a cape behind you to give you superpowers, and that's the way to look at AI today. But as it evolves, it needs to be looked at very differently.
So I think time is over. It was a clear message here. No timer, but a clear message on the other side. So just to recap it, we believe that this is a great place to be, and talent is coming, talent is being upskilled. There are some great companies coming to the region or already in the region, and players like DMCC that are bringing all of this together and providing very pragmatic support and solutions in order to let companies grow and scale from Dubai to the rest of the world. So thank you so much for your time here today, and thank you to all the speakers.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
Unless there are questions.
Yeah, I think we should be fair to the audience and get them a couple of questions to be asked.
We should do it now. There are no questions? Yes, please. There is a question. Can we hear? Thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question is really to, I'm sorry.
Can you speak louder?
I can speak louder. My question is about DMCC. I've seen recently that you are in the midst of constructing the new building, the DMCC Crypto Center. Is that correct?
That's already built, actually, but
That's
we're building
already
more.
built.
So.
Okay, cool.
Oh, there's a crypto tower being built as well.
The crypto
yeah,
tower.
That's a
yeah.
separate thing. So.
So my question really is just really about some more information. How are you seeing in DMCC the relationship between the crypto and the AI, and what specific services are you offering potential entrepreneurs like myself to be able to marry my platform, which brings together crypto and AI and, you know, mobile commerce? Just a question really, and, you know, what type of infrastructure and services will you offer someone like myself?
Can I answer that as a user from DMCC? So I think they have been pretty supportive to us. You know, when we started with DMCC 5 years ago, we were a small business, and some of our partners are also here. One is in terms of the support you need to establish yourself, whether it's registering your business or hiring and getting the right support from the legal aspects point of view. DMCC has been a fabulous support for us. That's one. Two is in terms of establishing and expanding, in terms of giving access to the user base of DMCC, or giving a space for us to even go and talk to businesses that want to come and register with DMCC. There's a lot of support that we get beyond what Belal as a friend helps us out.
Thank you. But we got lots of programs for crypto companies as well. We've got ongoing acceleration programs, access to funding. There are hackathons that we run. In fact, in the next half an hour, we're going to be announcing the winners of our AI competition, giving away $100,000 of prizes down at the Elevate stage if you want to come and check it out. So a lot of opportunities.
Thanks a lot for that. And I will attest to the support of DMCC. We've actually had our business registered at DMCC since 2015, so I will attest to that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to our panelists and to our wonderful moderator. Thank you.